They took rats and they taught them how to run mazes. And then they would surgically remove various portions of the brain. They found that if they could remove a portion of the brain and the rat could no longer run the maze. On the area of the brain where the rat's memory of the maze running ability was encoded. They discovered that they could never remove the memory of how to run the maze. Surgeons had known this for a while, doctors had known this for a while, because when people have head injuries, they found that if they could remove a portion of the brain and the rat could no longer run the maze, they discovered that they could never remove the memory of how to run the maze. They took rats and they taught them how to run the mazes. And then they would surgically remove various portions of the brain. They found that if they could remove a portion of the brain, the rat could no longer run the maze. Surgeons had known this for a while, doctors had known this for a while. Impulses. These are like proverbial pebbles dropping into the sort of electromagnetic pool of our brain. They're sending out ripples that are constantly crisscrossing. And he believes that's what the brain hologram, that's how we think and how we remember is through that hologram inside the head.
He developed this holographic model because he was trying to come to terms with memory, trying to come to terms with memory.
Now you also imagine further that you come from a culture that's never seen aquariums, never seen fish, never seen monitors or cameras. But two different fish, two different objects. But every time one fish moves, the other's going to make a corresponding movement. And you then jump to the conclusion that somehow one fish is signaling the other, communicating with the other to say, hey, do this, instantaneously. If you imagine that you've got an aquarium in which you have a fish swimming, you have a TV camera facing the front of the aquarium, one facing the side of the aquarium, and you have a monitor attached to each camera. All you're privy to is the two images on the screen. He says that maybe, if you look at these two screens, you're going to see a fish, a side view of the fish and a frontal view of the fish. And because you don't know what the deeper reality is, or the reality occurring, you may assume that these are two separate things. Part of it, that we assume that an instantaneous communication is going on, and that's not really what's going on at all. At a deeper level, a very holographic level of reality, every particle in the universe collapses to a cosmic unity. They're not signaling each other. They're like that fish, where there's the level of employment. Is that we've always tried to understand, for example, psychic phenomena, like how could I get information out of your head or my head, as some sort of signal going back and forth. But if we're organized, if we live in a universe that's organized holographically, you no longer have to tackle it that way. It could be that I have the entire universe and every neuron, every cell, every atom, every electron in my head, and you do also. So when we can access that, we can access information that seems to be beyond our normal sensory reach.